Frank the Pest Geek here. Long ashes to you. It is Wednesday. I'm taking the afternoon off because we had some things to do. And I said, well, why not? I'm going to come over here. I'm in Lauderdale and I'm going to enjoy a cappuccino and a latte. I don't know what they made me. It was really good. And I smoked a cigar. And I decided I had a friend who, I've grown to really, care for and I consider him my friend. And I was doing a consultation on this, and we had about a good 45-minute conversation. But what I wanted to talk about is what I've been kind of on my mind the last couple of days. There are things just on my mind, and I really got to let me go here. Long ashes to you, and you know and long lashes if you're a woman. um, you know but one of the things that in starting up a business, and in your first year, in your first 2 years of business, that a lot of people are overwhelmed, where they are not making nearly as much. um, What's up with the trucker headset? Actually, this is because I'm in a cigar bar. They got music playing, and I don't want to shout and talk really loud. And I carry this. This is my office mic that I use when I'm doing telesales in the office, and I carry it with this laptop. Hopefully, I'm getting a good signal. I'm transmitting via my phone using the internet, and hopefully, it's coming in clear. And we're getting a good reception, this is testing for me too, because I want to be able to go live from anywhere across 7, 8 platforms. Right now, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, I'm live on Twitter, I'm live on um, and a bunch of other places. And I just want to be able to do this whenever I have the time, whenever I have the chance, share with the audience, talk, communicate, not have to wait till I'm in a studio. I'm all about being free, and the freedom that being in business really provides. And it's really about the freedom for most of us. It's not really about the money. If it was about the money, we could probably do something else. It's really about the freedom it buys us. It buys us the time that we want. When most people don't experience that freedom, they experience what they feel is slavery. They can't get away. They can't take time off. They can't do anything. Yes, you're going to pay those dues early on. I mean, that's just the price you have to pay to get what you want. If you're starting a business at 40 something, 50 something, it's much harder at 50 something than it is at 40 something. When you've hit the ceiling and you can no longer advance in a company, and nobody's going to pay you more because you're pretty much at the max of what you're going to make, and as an office manager, as a manager, as for a small company, you cap out at $50,000, $60,000 a year. Your only option is to start up. And a lot of you, your first year, your first 6 months, you don't really know what it is that you're going to expect. And what you're going to expect is a lot more pain, a lot harder than you thought it was. And a lot of you are ready to quit because you're really in your heart and in your mind, you thought this was going to be easier than it really is. You're wanting it to be easier than it really is. And when you find out that all the people, the videos, and all of the podcasts into, and all the books you're listening to, it's not adding up. Because what people are going to tell you is, you have to delegate, you have to delegate, you have to delegate. Yeah, if you're barely making $3,000 to $5,000 a month, you don't have enough to delegate. Nobody's going to work for you. So what you delegate is tasks. You may delegate the accounting, but you cannot delegate your core yet, because it's all on you. And the hard pill to swallow is that you thought handing out 1,000 flyers that you made was going to bring you in 100 customers, because people said it's 1%. Well, I got news for you. It's not 1%. It's 1/100 of 1% on flyers. If you hand out 1,000 flyers, if you get one call from that, is because you had such a strong offer. For instance, you offer to buy their contract. If they got a contract, if you got a contract with a large company and you want to get out of it because you're not happy and they're going to charge you a cancellation fee, I'll buy that from you. We will provide you a free service valued at X and your first month for free for you to switch to us, because we're a small company. We're a mom and pop company and we got to work harder and we care more. And now you have a USP. Now you have, because what people don't understand this is what throws people off when we start talking these numbers, that it's going to cost you between $150 to $400 to get a customer when you're doing marketing. Someone who left your company and you didn't have enough relationships in the industry, where you had hundreds of relationships that you've built over a decade, 15 years, that you can now call on those people and pull favors for people to give you a chance to do the work. Chances are you had a non-compete. You cannot go after their customers. And even if you could, it's unethical. And if you're a believer and you have good ethics and morals, you're not going to do that. So your work is twice as hard. So why am I dealing this? Because I deal with this day in and day out, where you're hoping and wishing that it was easier than it really is. When I first started out, the reason I keep harping on this is because I want everyone to get it. I'm going to continue harping on this. I'm going to be producing 1 to 5 podcasts a week. We're putting up the academy. We're putting up Sales Academy. We're putting up the Marketing Academy on simple things that people don't know how to do, but need to do it. And here's the problem. You're going to have to swallow that frog. Praying, hope and prayer, the chances are, if you're hoping and you're praying and you're a believer, what you're going to get is answers of questions you didn't want to hear. I was just having a conversation with his brother. I said, look, God told Joshua, you're going to enter the promised land. Be not afraid. He told him 3 times, I am with you. But when you go into that promised land, you're still going to have to sword and you're going to have to kick everybody out. And I'm not going to save you from that. God is not going to save you from the hard work that needs to be done because you prayed about it. You're still going to have to go in there and kick butt. You're going to have to go out into the world and compete. You're going to compete to eat every single day of your life when you're in business. That is the reality. This is why, it is estimated that 70-something% of people say they want to start their own business. 67% of people aren't happy in the workplace. Yet only 6 to 11% of people ever start a business successfully, because it is darn hard. And what you're wishing is for an easy button. You're wishing for something that would come that's going to make your life easy. I said the tools of the trade of marketing, the tools make your life easier. If you're using AI, you can produce. I got software that can produce. I was telling them, bro, if you told me that you wanted to produce a blog a day as a friend, I would have a blog directly uploaded to your site every single day that all you have to do is tweak it. But you're still going to have to tweak it. If you're not going to invest the time, then it's going to do me no good to do it. But I can produce 1,000 blog posts overnight. I can build a website and have 100 pages on it literally overnight. In 8 to 10 hours of work, I can build a site. What is that going to do for you if you're not going to do the SEO part? If you're not going to do the GMB part? My strategy for you, I'm giving you a strategy. If you are starting up, I'm going to give you a strategy right here of the strategy I used 15 years ago in 2009 in the hardest economy to hit this country in a long time, where most people folded. I started up. And my strategy is a marketing is a micro market, hyper local strategy. And here's what I did. I literally named my company Nature Pest of Doral. Why? Because I did all my business in one city, and literally 80% of my business was in one development alone. People saw me there every single day, and they thought I had hundreds of clients there because you are always here. I see you here every day. If you have no money and you've got 40, 50 clients, why are you going home until you've sold something? You should not be going home to your wife, to your family, without saying, I talked to 50, 60, 100 people today, and 99 turned me down, but I got one. You're quitting because you're hoping it's going to be easier than it really is. And if you can come to term with those numbers, because selling is all about numbers, marketing is all about numbers. It's a numbers game. And if you can play the numbers game and understand it, you can walk away from 99 no's and say, thank you for the 99 no's, because it puts me closer to my one yes. And and a lot of you can't accept that, and you look at it as defeat. I said, that's the game. That's the game. How many shots are taken in a basketball game, and how many shots actually make the net? How many times is the ball rushed? Is the ball carried? And how many times did it actually go across the finish line? How many swings at a bat you take to that one home run? Their numbers are there. The stats are there for a reason. And you have to just get mentally, it's not about even being mentally tough. It's just really about accepting that reality. So what I did was, I was in a development, and the way I got started is I started developing relationship, because my specialty was lawn and ornamental. I built a relationship with all the landscapers. I would offer to pay them $50, $100. You saying I can't afford to pay $100? Listen, if you're looking at the long-term value of a client, $100 to pay a landscaper to start referring you their clients is peanuts compared to the $150 to $400 you're going to pay in advertising to get a conversion. Where people say $25 a click, that's ridiculous. That's the reality. You have to accept that reality. My cigar shut off on me as I talk too much. Daggone it. And I'm too lazy right now to get up and go get another lighter because I didn't bring my lighter. But if you go into a neighborhood and you look, if you haven't gotten out of a 5 mile radius, let's say you're in the average metropolitan cosmopolitan city, what I want you to do is I want you to find where the money is. You got to follow the money. You always have to follow the money. You go to the neighborhoods where you know the income is 100 to 150,000 plus a year. You map that area for 5 miles. You're probably going to have 5,000 homes in that area, in a zip code. And you farm that area every single day. If you're driving there for a client, on that day, you should be hitting 50, 60, 70 houses. I don't care if you have to buy a Segway on a credit card. You put it on a hitch, attach it to the back of your truck, you park your truck, and you go on a Segway around that entire neighborhood knocking on every door. I hate door knockers. I don't like it. I don't care what you like. It isn't about what you like. People don't like doors knocked. It doesn't matter what people don't like being marketed to. People don't like being sold. Yet people are getting hit with 50,000 pieces of marketing a day. And you think your flyer that you put out that has no strong offer, that has a million words of text that nobody's going to read, has a crappy design, and you think that's going to get you a conversion? You're kidding yourself. I don't mean to piss on your parade, but that's reality. I've done direct mail marketing, but I knew when to hit when that happened. And I went ahead and did a flyer, and I sent it out to 5,000 homes during a time where there was an epidemic on one specific insect on plants that everybody had in that neighborhood, and everybody was getting. And that one flyer, which I must have spent 5,000 made me over $28,000 in new revenue and new customers. That was a one-hit wonder. I tried to replicate that again and I couldn't. But I was smart enough to know, hey, I'm going to do this right now. But that was it. It's not going to work every single time. You look at the mail companies when mail order was big. Bed Bath and Beyond was sending out a flyer every 2 weeks to my house. I literally marked it, an offer and a coupon to get me into that store. Yeah, it's not going to light up. So what I say is, don't come home if you just started out in business and you haven't prospecting. Prospecting is hard. The term prospecting, if you know history, comes from mining for gold. And the average person never mined enough gold to eat that day because you had to move a lot of dirt. You didn't know how to mine for it. You were panning in a river and you were prospecting. What you're doing every single day is finding out who has an interest. The problem is until you knock on that door, you don't know if there's a need or a want. You have to know if there's a need or a want. The only way you're going to do is to talk to people. If you want to do gas stations and restaurants, you should be driving by every single gas station you drive by, going in and talking to them and saying, hey, let me write you up a quote. We don't need a quote. We got to come. I'm going to write you up one anyway. I don't care. It's a mindset. I don't care that you have no need or want. I'm going to give you a quote right now. I'm here. That ant trail. Are you interested in taking care of that ant trail? See, if you take a 5-mile radius, folks, I'm giving you this for free. You take a 5-mile radius around the area you want to hit. Run Facebook ads around that 5-mile area. Facebook ads are the cheapest right now they've ever been because there's so much competition on Instagram, TikTok, and all these other platforms, and they're cheap. Do it on a 5-mile radius. Now you do Facebook ads on a 5-mile radius, and now you take next door on a 5-mile radius. And what you tell people is, listen, every single week, because you're going to be there automatically every day that week, right? You're going to be on Thursdays because you're doing one house in that territory. You said, anybody who wants a free spray, I will give you a free one-time spray for ant control, whatever it is you're trying to control around your house on Thursday. Everyone gets it for free. You put that ad out on Facebook. You put the ad out on Nextdoor. You're putting out a flyer that says, hey, every Thursday for the next year, whatever, offer expires every month, and you just redo the offer. And you say, but I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to give initial away. Why not? Think about this. Right now, you're sitting in your truck with your thumb up your butt, running around getting no clients. You have no money for marketing, which costs you 150 to 400. When you factor in how many clicks it takes to get a conversion, how many calls it takes to get a conversion, then how many people drop off and cancel on you, and you don't have the bandwidth, you don't have the networks, you don't have the connections, why wouldn't you just give away the service to get someone to try it, to get them hooked on it like a crack dealer? I mean, they do it all the time. Why can't you learn from a drug dealer? I don't get some of the mentality that I hear from people. I'm not going to give my service away. I said, restaurants do it all the time. Get a free dessert if you buy a meal. Come in for a free drink to get you in the door. The number one marketing word in marketing for the last 1 million years has been free. I will do a free inspection. I will do a free service around your house only on Thursdays when I'm in that territory. And now that truck is there every single running around. People see you running around with a Segway. They have to be curious of what is a grown-ass man with a tablet in his hand doing with a shirt that has on the back plastered pest control, running around a neighborhood. And if you're there every single week, you're already going there, knock on 50 doors. You have nothing else to do. You have nothing else to do but go home, put your head on your pillow and cry about how hard it is, instead of just doing something, eating that frog, biting the bullet, getting it done, because that's going to be your only way. Well, all these pest control companies that are doing all this, they don't even know what they're talking about. Great. So if you know what you're talking about, why aren't you doing it? I would be doing a YouTube video with a YouTube channel with your company name and the city and a playlist of that city every single week of the pest problem you find in that neighborhood. And I would be doing it right there on site live, like I'm doing here now. Frank the Pest Geek is live. Joe the Pest Geek in, Bentley, whatever city you're in, is now live. And you do no editing. You don't have to go back. I don't have time to go to a studio. What software should I use? Ding dong. You're there. You have a phone. You buy a software like this that costs you, I think this costs $25 a month. And you go live on Facebook, you go live on Twitter, you go live on all of these platforms from your phone and saying, this is the problem I'm finding in this community. And this is how you solve it, Mr. Customer. This is the product you use. This is what you use. This is what. And you know what? Those people who are making $150,000 a year in that neighborhood ain't never going to do it. You have nothing but time on your hands. And you're sitting there going, I wish there was an easy button. There is no easy button. Nobody's coming to save you. There's nothing, no amount of prayer is ever going to do the work for you. Farm that 1 5-mile area for a year. And if you can't bring in 500 clients, if you don't, until you've exhausted 10% of that market, of that neighborhood, and 10%, and kicked everybody in there and went ruthless on everybody and cutthroat, because you're going there, you're saving the time. I was so high priced, it didn't matter to me, because I was in a neighborhood where houses were going for $1 million while everybody else was selling there for $200,000. They would spend the money with me. They would see my truck and says, when you're done, I see you here every day. When you're done spraying his lawn, come and spray my lawn. Because they see you there every day. That's your marketing strategy. Stop wanting to go everywhere, all over God's creation, because somehow a 5-mile radius with 5,000 houses isn't big enough for you when you haven't even closed 1% of that. When you've exhausted 50 houses in that neighborhood, in that 5-mile radius, then come and talk to me about how you need to expand your territory. When I talk to people about franchises, and I said, I'm limiting you 500,000 people. They're like, no, I want to be able to go anywhere I want. I said, you're an idiot, because you don't have the money to do all that marketing to go into 2 counties. You just want to have the freedom to say, if somebody calls me from 2 hours away, I'm going to go drive 2 hours because I need to eat today. I said, that is the mentality that is killing all of you. That you do not understand business. You don't understand sales. You don't understand marketing. You understand how to be a good technician. You're a great person. People love you. You're a good human being. You have a great heart. But that isn't enough to cut it in business. You have to be gentle as a dove and shrewd as a snake. See, the commandment is dual. You don't want to be shrewd as a snake. But I be going in there and saying, every Thursday, you got 5 neighborhoods that you have 5 clients in, and you're going out for 2 to 3 clients in a day when you're just starting out. It would be like, Fridays, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this marketing campaign. And on Wednesday, I'm doing this marketing campaign. And on Thursday, I'm doing this marketing campaign. And I'm hitting everybody here in this area. And then when you start making money, and you got $500, $1,000 a month, you keep putting it back into those Facebook ads. You can do, I'm doing right now, Google AdWords. Okay, folks, Google AdWords in a very tight area with 400 keywords. And I'm paying 40 something cents, 12 to 40 something cents a click. Yes, it will take 10, 15 clicks to my site. Who cares? I paid $15 for that one lead. Where are you going to get a lead for $15? But you're thinking too big instead of thinking less. Less is more. Quality is better than quantity. Give quality. Be the most knowledgeable guy in those 5 neighborhoods and focus on those 5 neighborhoods that you have 5 clients in. That is the closest to your house, where you leave here and you're going 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes this way. You spend most of your time chasing good clients than chasing 45 minutes an hour. You're going out for 2 clients, spending 3 hours a day on 2 clients. That's asinine. I mean, you guys ought to get your head examined because it's crazy to do that. That's because you don't get it. I did this when I first started. I'm not trying to sell you on something I didn't do. It's all duplicatable. It's not like it's, oh, I had a one hit wonder one time that I've never been able to duplicate. But every time I've done this, it works. Yes, I'm investing right now. This year I will invest, I'm not joking, I will invest about $12,000 in marketing into a new market, into a new county before I even reap a dollar. Because I'm building out an entire county, and I'm building out hundreds of pages and blog posts to basically saturate that county with blog posts. We're producing, if you're following me, you see me, we're producing 54 pieces of content a day across 9 social media channels, saturating that market. I have a full-time person dedicated just to social media marketing and putting out content. We put out shorts, 1 video and 1 short per day across 7 social media channels. I'm building a team right now in South America that can do the social media marketing for us for a quarter or less of what I can pay here. That's my goal. Because then I can transfer that and say, you're doing this. And instead of paying $250 a day or $150 a day, now we only pay about $20 a day to have a team do it. You have to put it back in. You have to put it back in. You have to put it back in. If you think I'm going to do all this marketing, I know pay me back because I've done it before. I have a track record. So I am going to be doing around 48 cities in one county. We're going to be doing about 25 pages in addition to the city page, blogs around that city talking about ant control, rodent control, flea control, plant control, natural this, natural that, organic that. So take 40 something cities times 25 pages. Look how much we have to build out. But I have software that I can do it. I have AI software that will kick out 25 blogs in about 1 hour. And all I have to do is tweak it because I can teach our AI to understand our brand and understand my brand voice and understand how we're unique and program all that in there. And that took hours and hours and hours and hours. I invested in that 40 hours or more just training a piece of software. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the money. You have to eat the frog. It isn't going to happen for you. And a lot of you are throwing the towel in. You're frustrated because you're listening to all these nitwits, a 24-year-old kid telling you how you can make $100,000 a month on Amazon and how easy it is. If it was that easy, he wouldn't be teaching it. He would be doing it himself and keeping his mouth shut because he's making. I'm not banking $2 million a year. My goal is to get my company up to around 2 million and sell it because I can get 2.5x valuation on a brand like mine, easy. So I can walk away with $5.5, $6 million in the next 5 years if I build up my brand and I sell it, because that's where you'll make your money. You have to build up a brand, either for your kids to take over, your family to take over, for you to build it, or to then sell it and retire. And if you're 55 years old and you just got kicked out of the company because you were top dog and they didn't want to pay you that because they could pay 25-year-old kids what they used to pay you to spray perimeters, and you're going to start up, guess what? You don't have 15 years. Unless you want to be spraying buildings and the inside of buildings with a BNG and Bifin until they put you in the ground. That's not what I want for you. So I can't tell you and sugarcoat it and pump up sunshine up your tailpipe, with rainbows, and you're going to crap out a purple unicorn. It's not the reality. The amount of people that grow their business to $1 million is like in the top 10% of businesses that are existing that grow to $1 million. So your job is to go in there, be ruthless, do whatever you have to do to take the business. You should not be caring. I'm good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You should not be caring what your competition thinks. I got people, well, how are they doing $39 a month? That's ridiculous. Here's doing it. They're charging $39 a month every single month on a credit card automatically and servicing that house every 3 months. So they're making about $120 to $140 a quarter while you're trying to sell it for $99 a quarter. They're getting 30 to 40% more. And you're saying, but they're a crappy company. Yes, they are a crappy company. And what does that say about you? I don't care what my competition says. I don't live for the people in this industry who can judge me, who sit there in a truck all day, like I see across the street every single day. And he says, bro, I'm tired of being in this truck. I'm tired of being in this truck. I got a part-time guy. How do I get out of this truck? I want to be in the office. I see all your videos. I see what you're doing. I said, dude, I busted my ass for 10 years. You got 10 years? No, then do this. But I don't like that. Can't help you. That's the tough reality, brothers. I wish I could sit here and tell you, if you buy my program, if you buy my course, I have an easy button for you. I don't have an easy button for you. I just have hard advice that's tough to swallow. But if you eat the frog and you swallow it and you go out and execute on it, you will see success. You got to get past here, the mentality, and go execute it and not care what anybody thinks. If you have to give that service away to get somebody to try it, give it away. Because in the meantime, you're sitting there doing nothing. If you go to network meetings, you know, if that's what you rather do, and you rather be in a truck by yourself, not have any employees, wait until you're old enough, okay, that you can no longer do it. Wait until you get sick and you're out for a month and you lose half your clients. Because if you're in a large metro market that is full of vanity, like Miami, like Los Angeles, like New York, where nobody cares about you, nobody cares who you are, your customers are not going to care if you don't show up. But if you're telling me you want to grow, if you're telling me I want to start up, how do I start up? What is the first thing that I do? Go start knocking on doors. Because if you didn't build a network of relationships when you were in the industry, you're up a creek without a paddle. If you didn't save up $100,000 for marketing, which everybody starts up and they buy the truck and they buy the chemical, they buy all the equipment, they get nice logos, they get a nice website, and then they have zero money for marketing, not realizing that 50% of that money needed to go to marketing. I would have rather you got a truck with a magnetic sign on it, a Bifin and B&G, and sprayed the heck out of everybody and put all that money into marketing. The thing is, I don't know how to market. Everybody's ripping me off. Everybody promises they can deliver. Again, you need to learn sales and marketing if you want to grow, especially in an economy like this. You know what it is to start up in the last year post-COVID? During COVID, start a pest control business? I started that in 2009 when the economy tanked. But dude, I had already 25 years of sales experience. I could talk to anybody. I walk up to a total stranger. I would walk up to a 10-year-old if I had to and ask them if they needed pest control. Mommy, this guy's asking me if he wants pest control. Because I don't care. As long as what I'm doing is ethical, honest, transparent, the media and the method does not matter. It's the message. Advertising, it hasn't changed since the days of Mad Men, since David Ogilvy, one of the brilliant people in marketing. Humans are still humans. People are still people. The only thing that changes is the media. The message doesn't change. Every box is new and improved. Everyone has a special price. Everyone has a discount. Everyone has a free offer. If you don't have a strong offer in your marketing is going to be, you're going to have a paper. You're going to have a box of flyers and door hangers that are useless. You need a strong offer if you're going to put out marketing, because people are getting hit with 50,000 pieces of marketing. I scroll through Facebook. All I got to do, if I want to test the algorithm, I will go to Google right now and put something that I'm looking for, and within 1 hour, I will have 20 ads on retargeting ads on my Facebook targeting me for that I searched for. I started, it was funny because, my fiance, I was looking for a wedding ring, and all I did was type up wedding ring, and then I was screwed. I mean, I had marketing after marketing on wedding rings coming through my feed, you know, for that, because that's how it works. It's that repetitiveness in marketing that's effective. If you can't do it 13, 14, 15 times, and you said, I just did it once, and I can't afford to do it again because it produced no result, you don't understand that that's the same investment as when you bought the truck, when you bought the chemical, and it's sitting there in your truck right now, and you're still paying $5, $6, $7, $800 a month for that truck. Plus, you put all that equipment on a credit card because you had no money to start up. 90% of you guys did that. You put it all on a credit card, and now that credit card, that 1 year is up, and you're still haven't made the money, and now you're on $15,000, $20,000, you're paying $300, $400 a month in interest, and it still hasn't materialized what you thought it was going to be like. Because in your heart, you wanted it to be easier than it really is. You thought it was going to be easier than it really is, when the reality is something else. You realize that only 4% of Americans have savings. Everybody's broke. Nobody has savings. Nobody has investments. You don't want to grow your business? No problem, brother. Take all that money, put it into real estate. You want to become a day trader of stocks? Good luck. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Hey guys, if you got any questions, I'm here live. I can see your questions. You can type them in. I'd be glad to answer. I got some time because I'm going to be here a little while I'm waiting on my fiance to finish up what she's doing. I'm on my own, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this here. Nobody leave. I have to walk over here. I'm going to go and get my cigar lighted, and I'm going to sit here for a couple minutes and see if you guys got anything you want to talk about. And don't leave. I'll be right back. They got the Bee Gees going on. I love that band. Probably Earth, Wind, and Fire, and the Bee Gees are probably. I'm a disco guy. I grew up in the '80s, bro. I was born in 1970. I'm an immigrant. I came to this country in 1971 when I was 1 year old from Cuba. My parents brought me over here on a plane. My dad died when I was 5. 4 years after getting here, he dies. Brought up in a single mom. Had cancer at the age of 10. Didn't get over that until I was 16. Um, you know, I know how hard life can be. That's why I just accept the suck. It sucks, and all you can do is find that 1% thing that you can be good at that makes you happy, and just go do that, because the rest of it sucks. I'd gladly offer $100 for a successful referral. Even had 2 customers get their entire year. See, yeah, bro, but just make a habit. In other words, turn that into a marketing campaign. You should be every single month with software. There is no reason why you can't be offering that to every single client every single month, on every single offer, on every single time you do a service for them. With their bill, they should be getting a coupon that says, if you refer your next door neighbor to me, I'll give you $100. Sweeten the pie. Give them 2 free months for every referral. If they're doing a quarterly at $149 for a quarter, $129, give them a free quarter. Refer me to your next door neighbor because he's right next door. There's no travel time. Think about it. At if you're at $150 an hour, folks, check this out. All right, I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you. you're at $150 an hour on average. That's what you need to be making it in pest control successfully in just about any business. Some more, but 150 an hour divided by 60 is $2.50 for every minute you're not doing something. Is costing you $2.50. Could you afford to put a technician in a truck, drive 45 minutes times 45 minutes? That's $112.50 to perform a service. Would you rather drive 2 to 7 minutes than pay 112? 2.5 times 7 minutes, it's cost you $17.50 to service a client next door versus driving to the next client for 25 minutes. In the long term, in the grand scheme of things, okay, you're going to make a lot more money by giving that service away and paying an enormous amount for referrals, like up the wazoo, what you think is up the wazoo for referrals. You will make a lot more money in the long run because of the lifetime value of that client. If that client stays with you 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you will be making money. You got to change. You got to understand the business. Until you understand how the business is run and how the money's made, the money is not made in $250, $400 initials. That's short term because that's a one-time deal. Yes, you can eat today very well, but you will not have enough to invest and grow if you want to grow. Not everyone wants to grow. I'm not telling everyone to grow. I want to grow to a certain amount, and that's it. And then you know what? I set that as the goal. Guess what? I get to that and say, oh crap. Now it's a whole lot easier to go to 4 million. Why not go to 4 million? It's not that I'm greedy. It's not that I'm greedy, is that that's just human nature. Why give up something if you're doing good? Why not continue to grow it? It's greed. It's not being greedy. That's a technician mentality. I'm gonna plug myself in because I'm hanging out with you while I'm having a cigar. I'm hanging out here with you guys, and I'm running out of battery, but luckily I'm at a place where they have a plug-in right here next to me that I can hang out here with you. And what an idiot. I sat on the button. I'm such an idiot. A building that just called me while I was sitting here, green building. No audio still? Well, daggone it. What do I got to do for you guys? Let me see here. Yeah, there's audio. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep, I'm getting a meter now for the audio. There we go. It's going to take a minute. And it went mute. Yeah, I know. I sat on the button and I muted it. I'm such an idiot. Um, and I took that call. And that's how I do it. I'm on the road and I take the calls. Um, and I sell wherever I am. I sell more sometimes sitting outside on my patio smoking a cigar because I'm relaxed. Look, the best look, you guys got to put yourself in the best possible position where you have leverage. If all your bills are paid, you're making enough money to live, and you can invest it back somewhere, then you can afford to start firing customers and you can afford to start deciding who you take on as a customer. Not everyone at the beginning, I get it. I had to eat a lot of crap to see where it came from. But then it got to the point where I didn't have to do it anymore. Everybody's going to go through it. Okay. So the deal is, I sometimes I'm more comfortable sitting here and not giving a crap of that customer wants to buy my service or not, because they're buying an illusion. She's like, we want to go green, and we want to do this, and we want to convert to agreement. I says, have you looked at green building standards? Let me make sure. No, I don't need that. And understand green building standards, and understand to convert to IPM, and it's not going to be about spraying mint oil all over the place. I need your board. I need to have a meeting with your board. I need you to give me the contact information. Set up that meeting. If you're serious about it, set up that meeting. We'll have a conversation. I'm not going to drive all the way over there just to go measure the property and drop a contract on your lap and say, here's what it is on a monthly basis. And then you're asking me why are there still apartments with German roaches when all you want us to do is treat common areas? I said, you're setting yourself up for failure. And this is why you're in the position you're in. I said, if you want to do it, I have to be able to inspect every one of those units. We have to be there on a monthly basis inspecting those units. What are you going to do when somebody moves in with German roaches? And you're saying, well, if they want it, they got to pay for it. And the guy says, I'm not going to pay for pest control. I'm just going to use foggers and fog the whole unit. And now roaches are spreading all over the place because you decided you only wanted a common area service, and everybody in those units is responsible for their own pest control. This is how it is in Florida, folks. So I just basically thought, before I waste your time and mine, unless you're going to pay 4 or 5 times more to get started than with a standard pest control company, you will get what you want. If this is what you really want and you've got the budget for it, we'll set up a meeting and we'll talk. And if you're not going to do that, and your board is not willing to do that because they're saying this is stupid, we're not going to do it, you have your answer. We don't need to waste everybody's time. And when you're in that position, you don't have to, because they're calling me wanting eco-friendly pest control. I got to tell them what they have to do. It's kind of like, I want to go and I want to lose weight, and I'm a type 2 diabetic. And how do I lose weight? And give up the carbs, go on keto. I can't give up carbs. You can't have it. Life is pretty, most things in life, folks, are pretty binary. You want to be fit, go to the gym, work out, stop eating crap, stop eating the damn 2-for-1 hamburgers. I can't do that because it's too expensive to eat a salad. It costs me $12. That's fine. Pay later in medication. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? I had to do it. I mean, for 2 years, I was borderline diabetic. 7 years ago, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I said, I tried everything else. I tried the DASH diet. I tried all the diets the doctor told me. I'm not going on medication. I'm going to go on keto. I spent 6 months doing research on keto. I went on keto. I kept it off for 7 years. I lost weight. I went all the way down to 148 pounds. I haven't been 148 pounds since I was a teenager. What do you want to do? Again, you got to be able to bite the bullet, do what you have to do. None of what's going to be good for you in the long run is going to be palatable in the short term. It's going to suck. It's going to be crap. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You should feel uncomfortable. You shouldn't come home every day until you've made at least one deal that day. You look your wife in the eye. I said, I knocked on 50 doors. I talked to 50 people. I did everything I could possibly do today. All I got was one. And if nobody respects you for that, there's something seriously wrong. Because that's how you do it. You got to earn the respect, but it's not going to be given to you. I don't know. If anybody got any questions, I'm hanging out here. I got all day. I got about another hour. I'm Cuban, and I can talk for 2 hours straight without having a problem. I actually taught one class once on video. She said, you talked for 1 hour straight, not a single mistake. We don't have to edit it. And I did one class for 1 hour without having to stop, talk, or take a break. Daggone, Sarah. This is a Rocky Patel, by the way. I love this Rocky Patel. I love the flavor. But I need a lighter on me all the time because it shuts off quick. The draw is really good. It's got a nice draw, but I don't know why it shuts off so much. It goes through. Anybody got any questions? What do you want to talk about? Ask me a question. I mean, if I don't know the answer to, I don't know the answer to. I'll be honest. But what would you like to talk about? What are some of the challenges you're facing that you're needing help with? I'm willing to do a consultation. I'm doing on Mondays, every Monday on a Zoom. This is not on a Zoom. This is a lot easier to do it through this platform from a laptop, from anywhere, where I'm not doing a Zoom. But I'll be doing a Zoom, and if you want to come on the air and join me on a Zoom call. If you want a free consultation, um, if you call me later and says, bro, I'm going to message you because I want to pick your brain. Dude, it's $159 an hour to pick my brain. If you want a private consultation, but you're going to know more than what you want to know and more than you can handle in 1 hour about strategy. Look, I did sales since the age of 16. I was in corporate sales, wholesale, manufacturing. I had my own wholesale business. I sold contracts that had no, I didn't sell a product. I sold a contract for subcontracting. Basically, I hired subcontractors around the country to install glass when I used to work for a manufacturer. There isn't anything I haven't sold. Um, I can teach you how to sell. Most people just despise sales. I'm selling a job, BRB. Explain BRB. What is a BRB? I don't want to misunderstand it. Um, it doesn't tell me who it is that's doing it. Finding capital or funding to start a business. Oh, okay, got it. All right. You know, it's hard. Sales hard for a lot of people because you have to learn sales. My advice to you guys is, hey, get good sales training. Buy sales training. Buy. The problem is, how do you determine who's good sales training? I mean, if you want to learn to do door-to-door sales, then go look at the door-to-door sales companies offering the training. I mean, Obex has some really good contacts in this industry about door-to-door sales. Now I just lost my train of thought on this guy's name that does really good door-to-door sales training. Um, take the course. Um, take a good sales course. Learn sales. Then, if you want to learn about marketing so that you can hire somebody to do the marketing. But understand that this is one of the reasons why, after all these years, I decided 4 years ago I'm going to do in-house marketing agency. People call me, hey, I want you to do my SEO. I don't do SEO for anybody. I do it for myself. I have 3 brands that I manage internally. I got Pest Geek podcast. I got Nature Pest. Right now I'm going to build out a separate brand. We've got the academy. That is enough to keep myself busy with an in-house marketing agency where we learn how to do it. We're learning how to do ads now. We're learning how to do different things to promote our brands and our products. I want to do it for us. I don't want to do it for other people. Most people will not be able to afford it to do it right, and this is why you get taken for a ride every single time. Where somebody says they can do SEO for you for $2.99 a month, they can't. They can take your money for $2.99 a month and let it sit there, and they'll do nothing for it for $699 a month. I mean, the amount of SEO we do and the amount of social media marketing we do is the equivalent of about $12,000 a month if I was an agency. Whole March started out at 10,000 a month if you wanted them. I don't know how much they are now. They wouldn't take you for less than 10,000 a month. Those are the really good, legit SEO companies. SEO should be about 20% of your marketing budget. So if you're spending 10,000 a month on SEO, you should be able to spend around 100 to 140,000 a month on marketing. That's kind of where it's at in the reality of things. Um, we do the equivalent of that, but our ROI, our cost is about a third of that. Um, what we spend in house to do all our marketing in house to get it done. I don't know. I don't know what I can answer for you. If anybody's out there, there's a couple of people online. I don't know how many of us. I'm not on TikTok because I need 10,000 followers on TikTok right now to do a live from this app. I can do it a live from the phone. I should have done it from the phone, but I don't feel like screaming really loud, and the music's here and it's blaring, and I'm a cigar place and empty right now because nobody's smoking a cigar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Only I'm doing that. I got to keep an eye on my phone because when Honey calls, I got to fly, and she hasn't called me yet. So that's how it is, bro. I gotta just let her do her thing, and I do my thing, and we get together and do our thing. But I don't know. Does anybody finding be right back? Can hear you. Great. All right. Well. It's been a good hour. Been hanging out with you guys. If you want to reach out to me, by the way, I got the academy, the Pest Geek Academy. Go to pestgeekpodcast.com. Go ahead and um, log on and check out our courses that we have. I got a free technician course. Look, why am I giving a free technician course away for new hires? Because when you have to make your first hire, that is about the most painful thing that you ever have to go through, is making your first hires. And I want you to succeed, and I want you to have it easier, so I can give that away. That's, by the way, that was my baby course. That was the one I created first. My marketing courses, once you can afford to do marketing, yeah, pay for it. I appreciate it if you would pay for my courses. If you want to know how to do my eco-friendly services, I'm starting to put them all online now. There's one, our roach service, how we do it. Look, no prep. You don't need to tell the customer they need to prep with our service, with our eco-friendly service. They can stay in the home when they're there. Justin Ortiz. Okay, I got a lead. I need an exterminate possible mosquito fleas in the house. Okay, so I just got a lead while I was sitting here. On my website, by the way, they just wrote me a form, and then I get it on my on my WhatsApp. It goes directly to my WhatsApp. I can get it there. Um, what was I talking about? Lost my train of thought. I need to log this, but I don't want to walk away. Um, yeah, I mean, what do you want to talk about? Remind me what I was talking about. If somebody's listening, sometimes I lose my train of thought. Bro, I'm 53 years old. Um, you know, I'm not exactly a spring chicken. Um, but I don't know if I can get. Let me take a look. If you guys are on Facebook, let me take a look at my Facebook here. See if anybody's asking any questions, because I can see it on my screen here from all the platforms, but I don't know. Likes your live video. What's up, Dwayne Epps? I hope Epps, EPPS, you're watching me on our Pest Geek podcast. And yeah, I don't know if anybody else is watching on Pest Geek podcast. Most of you guys are out at this time, still doing services, still doing a lot of things. Um, you're not here. I do it at 8 o'clock in the morning um, on Mondays. I'm going to be doing a couple of lives on a couple of private groups that have asked me to do stuff for them, for their group. A bunch of do-it-yourself groups. I'm going to be teaching on a bunch of do-it-yourself groups. I'm trying to impact people's lives. When you got a mom who's in an apartment, she's a single mom. Whatever the situation is, it doesn't matter to me. I don't judge it. And she can't afford to buy pest control because it's $300-400. The slumlord doesn't pay for it. What do I lose? She's never going to be able to hire you or hire me. She's going to be fogging the place, putting all kinds of chemicals, taking ortho, fire ant, which is, an organophosphate, putting it all over the house because she read it on some stupid blog. So be the good you want to see in the world. If you're saying that people are giving bad advice, well, why aren't you writing a blog giving good advice? Why aren't this has always been my premise. I get criticized for it, but I don't care, because again, what are you going to do for that mom? You're going to do it for free for her? If you are, fine. It's no skin off your back either if I give away. But if I show her a video on how to do it correctly, she's still going to have to spend $100 and some on the product. Now she can afford to maintain it, do it right, not kill her kids, not contaminate it, do it in an eco-friendly way, do an IPM program, because that's what I've been doing. I got 700 videos on my Nature Pest channel where we teach people how we do it. It's no skin off your back. What does it matter? Go ahead and do it. So I'm doing a lot of that. We're going into a lot of these groups. So teaching their people, their users, how to do it correctly, because there's a lot of bad information out there. Karen's came out in force. That's when I went making videos and sharing links. There you go. Just do your own thing, brother. The Karens are going to come out. There's nothing you can do about that. Look, I don't hear it. If I listen to every single negative comment that I got, on all of my channels that I'm on, I would never get anything done. I can't care. I'm deaf to it. You don't like what I have to say, don't follow me. You like what I have to say, like and share it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't care. So I will do my thing, and I will give my best advice. And if you jump down my throat because you didn't like it, that says more about you than it says about me. I could care less. You got to really build a tough skin to do this. Um, because if you're afraid of criticism, you won't put out content. If you're afraid about telling people, building a channel, going on YouTube, going on Facebook, giving advice, being the most knowledgeable person, being an expert, you cannot care what the naysayers are going to say. You cannot care what your competition is going to say. Your competition is never going to be around to pay your bills when you go bankrupt. As a matter of fact, I've had they tried to attack my site and my Facebook pages this week, and I'm getting bad reviews from a guy who's never done a review, shows up, no picture, nothing, gives me a 3-star. That's my competition. My competition went in on my GMB and tried to change my hours and requested a change. And if they do that and you accept it, but then it triggers a manual review and then it could close down your GMB. That's what they're banking on. This is the reality, bro. Um, of where the place we live in, where so many people are so unhappy with their own life that they got to crap all over everybody else's life because they can't. If if you can't get it up, you can't get it up. I mean, why are you why are you pissed off at the guy who can? Work on your own problems. But that's just the society we live in. It is much easier to crap on somebody else than go out and be successful. And you can't care. And if you do and you care so much about what everybody thinks, you'll never get anything done. You'll never get anything done at work because everybody shoots you down. You can't care that everybody shoots you down. You got to put your ideas out there. This is what has to be done. Keep an eye on this phone because I don't want her to call me. And she's at the doctor getting a procedure done. And when she's done, I wasn't going to wait around in an office for 5 hours for no reason. But make sure. Still at 2:46, and that was about 3 hours. So, yeah, 6:46. I got about another hour. Hold on a second. While you guys are still on, and you guys probably riding around in your truck, you put me on the mount. Nobody's paying attention. I've got these people on all over the place. Nobody's listening to anything. Let me go light this cigar again, and I'm gonna try to keep it on this time. Hold on. I'm back. So I don't know, folks. Let's see here. See you on Monday, man. Put it on the calendar so I don't forget it. Yeah, every Monday I'm on 8 a.m. Doing a live. I'm going to be doing some training. I'm going to be doing some classes on a lot of things that I see a need in. I usually look for the need that nobody wants to address, the things nobody wants to talk about, the things nobody want to share. That's it. One more info on getting leads. Yeah, man, that's the toughest thing. I mean, John Torres. Is it really John that you're married, or is it Juan and then you just change it to John because but it's still Torres at the end, so it's like Frank Hernandez. I'm Franklin. I'm not Francisco, but I'm Franklin. But yeah, man, getting leads is the hardest thing. This is why most businesses fold. because the most expensive thing in business is getting enough leads that create enough sales, that create enough cash flow for you to keep going. And basically, that marketing is a machine that you got to keep feeding. It's an animal. You have to keep feeding it for it to keep producing. When you stop, it stops, and then trying to get that momentum back again is where it's hard. What I see is when things are slow, like right now, things are incredibly slow for us, I have to admit, and the market is slowing down and customers are canceling. I am investing way more in SEO and in pages and in page building because I know that 6 months down the line, it'll start paying me back. When everybody is slowing down and nobody wants to invest in SEO, I've already done the investment, so I'm ahead. It's kind of like buying stock. When do you want to buy stock? When the market is down. People are like, I'm not going to buy now because the market now is when you buy. You buy when things are cheap. Okay. So you don't buy it when things are up here because what are the chances of it going higher? You're banking on that. So leads is the hardest thing to get. Jonathan Torres. Okay, Jonathan, there you go. All right. So see, the truth comes out. you know. Um. So yeah, man, that's how you do it. I'm gonna need another coffee because I don't drink this early in the day, especially when I have to drive. So I'm having a coffee. I had she did a cappuccino or a latte. I don't know what she did, and I had a Cuban sandwich. They got a little Cuban sandwich shop next door, and then they bring them in, and you can have a Cuban sandwich here, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, but yeah, I don't know what it is. If anybody's got any questions, let me go on here. Um, and no, can he come out? No, he's not home at this time. My kid's friend. See, we're on here. Let me go. Let me go to my page. Back over here. Um, I'm live. I'm live. I know I'm live. All right, I got. Yeah. Let me take a look at this. I haven't seen all the comments. Let me ask, man. Do you have an exit plan? Yeah, bro. It's called. Hey, Chad, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's called the body bag. No, my exit plan is to get it to about 2.5 million, 2 million, and sell it. But I'm building two other brands now that I'm working on for service businesses um, in in the same arena, doing different services but under different brand. Um, that's what I'm doing. Hey, Gustavo, how you doing, buddy? Christopher, you're back. Yeah, bro. That that word that doesn't go away. Um, Jamie Hannon, he knows what he's talking about. He's got a big ass company in Port St. Lucie. Reinvest in their biz. See it every day. Let's start with a nice clean truck. Yeah, buddy. I agree. Let's see here. Aaron, uh, be right back. Aaron Veal sold it. You sold the business? Commenting on advice because the Karens. Yeah, yeah, I know, but I see your videos, dog. You put out some pretty cool videos. They're funny. I was watching them the other day. What you were doing. Um, yeah, I mean, you don't go where you're not invited. You don't stick your nose into something. That's why I built my own platform. Um, check out Solid Blend Cigar Lounge. Check them out. Like cigars in Miami, but can't speak about the branding. Okay. Yeah, I go to a lot of cigar bars. Anywhere I go, I try to find me a cigar lounge to sit in and relax, talk to the owner, make some friends. You know, um, by the way, I got a new podcast coming out. Um, we're going to be devoting it to the entire service industry. So whatever service industry you're in, it doesn't matter if it's window cleaning, mowing, AC, plumbing. If you've got a service business, I'm creating a big network down in Miami, in the South Florida area for that. And I got a new podcast coming out, the Service Geek podcast. That is, we're going to be focusing on all others service industry people. And I've always been in service industry. I've never liked um, retail. I've always been in service industries. And what I did was I started out, first job I think I ever had was installing tile. I was like 16 years old. I worked as building signs, electric boxes. I knew electrical and how to install them. By the time I was already like 17, um, I could install those signs and do it. I mean, I had my first landscape business around that same time. um, I've always wanted to start up. I was always like, I was the guy that today would be like a Gen Zer. With every 6 months, he had a new job because he was trying different things, trying to figure things out with my ADD and ADHD. And then I did all that for several years. And about 19, I was already in college, went in and graduated in IT. I was in charge of IT for all of South Florida, from West Palm down to almost the Keys. Um, for a company that had stores all over that area. And I did that. Then I went into sales, and I spent 35 years in sales and service industries, selling decks, siding, windows, you name it. And then I had my own landscaping business again later. I had a pool service company. I had a fence repair company. I had a painting business. All of these businesses I've had. So when I know service businesses, I know them. I found pest control to be the most profitable thing I enjoyed the most. I spent 17 years in that. But 53 years old, I'm not a spring chicken. You know, it isn't nothing new. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. And I love teaching and I love training, which is really where I excel. I don't think of myself as a true entrepreneur. I'm a micro business owner that does okay. I'm happy that I still have the. I don't see myself as a guru. I just know what works and what doesn't work, and a lot of things that people are doing that are struggling, mostly the one man shows, is everybody's got to pay their dues. It's a dog eat dog world when it comes to business. Nobody's going to hand it to you, and a lot of people who are technical people who are mostly introverted. They're not extroverted. They're not social butterflies. Have a really hard time. And I had a mom who, after taking care of me until I was 17 because I had cancer, figured out she couldn't go back into the workforce after 17 years of being out of the workforce for like 7, 8 years. She was already in her late 40s. Where was she going to go back to? A minimum wage job? She started cleaning houses. And she was a solo person cleaning houses until she was like 70. I don't kind of want for a lot of people. I mean, my mom didn't have the business sense to hire people, and she just cleaned houses. She undersold herself. When I understood what she was selling this for, I said, "Mom, you're killing yourself. These people have money. They're willing to pay more. You're not charging enough." This is what I see constantly with self-employed people: is they undersell themselves. I say about 80 to 90% of the people out there doing solo work in every category is underselling their service. This is the trend. It's only the 3 to 4% that you hear bragging about how much. So I've always made more money because I always undersold it. But I'm confident as a salesperson that I can bring a USP where I can ask for more than what most people are willing to pay for the same service, because I bring a USP, because I had a brand, because people understood what I do. But most people I know are, if you price out the top 10 competitors in your market, in your area, you figure out you're either under them, and that's not a good place to be for a solo operator. You need to be above that. I would say price yourself 5 to 10% above it. Take the average in the market, go call 10, 15, 20 companies. What you're going to find out is most of them don't answer their phone. If you're answering your phone, you already have an advantage. And you will go ahead and price them out, put it on a spreadsheet, on an Excel spreadsheet, take the average on the initial, take the average, remove the outliers. The outliers are the guys charging $65 for an initial, and take the guy that's charging 400 and look at the average. You figure what the average price is. Then you take the monthly, the quarterly, the bi-monthly, quarterly, figure out what the average is. Take that average and price yourself 10% above average. That's a pricing strategy. Like, what do you guys sell it for? I see it in groups. It doesn't matter what I sell it for in Miami because you're in Arkansas. or you're in Tennessee, or you're in Alabama. It won't matter, because you got to sell it according to what the market's willing to bear. The market is only willing to bear so much above what everybody else, because if they're calling around for pricing and you're the single most expensive guy, you better have a good reason why you're the single most expensive guy. You can't just say, because the biggest mistake I see is you're buying me. I have 25 years of experience. Okay, what's going to happen when you have your first technician with 6 months of experience? Now what? You can't sell that, because now you lost your USP. The only USP you had was you're buying me. So basically, as long as I'm alive and breathing, you will continue to pay me. And the day I can't, you will stop, and you'll find somebody else that's another individual owner. And that's so. What you got to do is you got to brand your company and your USP and your sales to the fact that they're buying a higher quality service from a local company versus buying it from a national brand. Do you want 49-cent hamburgers at McDonald's, or do you want to buy a Five Guys burger? By the time you get the fries and the drink, it's $27. You're paying for the quality. How do you demonstrate the quality? Well, when you're using Bifin and spraying the outside of a house with the same thing, when they ask you, well, what are you going to spray on the outside? Now, what do you tell them? Well, we're spraying this product. Well, so is the other company. If all you're doing is spraying, then where is the USP? Where's the advantage? You got to have something that you can explain of justify why that service. And this is where you don't understand marketing and branding, and it's very hard for you to do that, because you're thinking it's my experience. The only thing you have to sell is your experience. Let me tell you something, bro. For 95% of the jobs that you're going to do, your experience of 25 years isn't going to matter. It only matters in that 1 to 3% of the difficult cases that nobody else can solve, and then you can't give that away either. You got to charge up the wazoo to solve those problems that the average company can't solve, because they have a high turnover rate in your area. They're hiring people with no experience. Their training is crap, and the guy has no experience. But for 95% of the time, when you're doing exterior perimeter treatments, sweeping webs, you don't need 25 years of experience for that. It's as a matter of fact, after 2 years of experience, it's of no advantage. If you're going to be doing difficult roach cleanouts where there's 100,000 roaches in that unit, it's a different matter. When you're going to be solving fly problem that nobody can figure out how the hell that fly is getting in the building, yeah, they're going to need you. That's where I come in my company. I don't get involved in 99% of the cases, except the sales and the marketing. That's really my goal right now, is sales and marketing. That's all. And admin of people, and being a leader of people. But I'm not a manager. If I got to babysit your ass, you won't work for me. So it's harder for me to find people. But when I find that person, they make really good money. My average tech is going to make $1,200 to $1,400 a week with me. But he's going to work 40 hours a week, and he's not going to work Saturdays. He's going to make money because I sell it for a very high price. And I have route density, and I've already built it. And that takes years. That doesn't happen overnight. I'm not telling you that's easy, that, oh, look how great I am. That took me a long while to figure out. So, a lot of these people, let's see here. Maria Sorrentino. I'm going to see Maria Sorrentino in April. I'm going to be up in daggone it, this cigar. Oh, I love it. Hey, Robert, how you doing, brother? Alan Fugler. If you don't know who Alan, I think it's Fugler. I don't think it's Fugler. I don't want to mess up your name, Alan. I've had you on the show before, but it's Fugler. Yeah, can't wait. Me too. It's going to be for the training, lead people manage stuff. All right. So I'm going to be up there for that. If you're looking at it, look it up online. It's going to be in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's right outside of another city where they're in. But look that up. Look at it up on Eventbrite. Go to Eventbrite. Look up lead people manage stuff. You'll find it. I think it's like $600 for two people, for a couple to go up there, plus airplane and hotel and all that. But a lot of good people are going to be there. Alan Foyer is going to be there. Obviously, Marita is going to be there because it's at her facility. It's going to be pretty cool. Um, Alan is a industry insurance giant. He's a legend in this industry. So if you've got any, I've had him on there on the podcast. Let's see who else is on. I don't know who else is on. Uh, Thanks for the shout out, my brother. You got the name right. All right, thanks, brother. I always, like Alan Fewer, Foyer. I keep thinking it's Fewer, but then we're gonna bring the Fewer to the event, and that's not good. Paul Bello's gonna be there too. If you guys want to get some termite training, Paul Bello's gonna be there. Who else is gonna be there, Maria? Since you know who's gonna be there. Um, Michelle Coy. She's, by the way, Michelle Coy has got a training on basic accounting, basic business finance. If you're struggling to understand basic business finance and basic accounting, where the numbers should be, how you should be tracking this, and how you should be setting up chart of accounts and all that, I've got a course, $99 for that course. Take it. It's going to be Laura. And I keep forgetting Laura's last name because all she had was on the podcast was Laura. And let's see here. Yeah. Adam Mueller. That's Mueller. I think I know Mueller. That's Mueller. All right. And so, yeah, man, shout out to all you folks that are out there. This is starting to get busy here. I think it's 6 o'clock. People are going to start showing up on a Wednesday night to buy cigars and join. So, still waiting on Ermi to get out. Let me see. Do I got? No. So I don't know, man. So much better to do these in the evening. Yeah, I know, but I go on. It's recorded. I got content. I'm a content, um, slut. So there's I've got that. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Facebook recorded. It'll be on there. Eric will be going crazy now. He's got an hour and 22 minutes of content to sift through and get micro content from it and get shorts and get all this stuff for the next 2 months. So, I really do it for the content. It's not really for you guys. Okay. It's for the content. I want the like shares. That's what I really am after is all the likes. I like the social acclamations, the love. That's really why I do it. But no, I'm serious. It just, if it helps you, it helps you, and I hope it does. I don't know who else. If anybody got any questions, wish I need to go. I need to go light my cigar. Next time I'm gonna bring my own. Yeah. So, yeah, people are coming on now too. By the way, people are walking into the store and they're coming online around. Yeah, everybody's getting off of work. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. You're getting off of work. You're seeing this guy with a beard and headphones and a cigar and wondering what the hell is he talking about. And I mean, at least you'll chime in for a second and go, oh, he's got nothing to say. I already know all this, and then scoot on out of here. But believe it or not, where I get the most activity on lives, this is where I tell people they're wrong all the time, especially you old guys, you old farts who are 60, 70 years old going, oh, you don't be on TikTok. All you got is a bunch of little on TikTok. Yeah, but understand these little kids on TikTok. They're now teenagers. There's a lot of adults on TikTok, and they're influencing their parents on what to buy at home. So when I have an eco-friendly solution and they're in school going, it's all about the environment. It's all about eco-friendly. And they're telling their parents, I saw this guy who smokes cigars and has a beer and he talks about eco-friendly. And I think you should listen to him. That's where the influence comes in. And this is where people say, well, 60 and 70-year-old people who buy houses are not on TikTok. Baloney. Grandmas are on TikTok because their grandchildren are watching TikTok. And do you want to, and by the way, that market, that 50 to 70 is about 10% of that market. If you feel like ignoring 10% of your market because you don't want to be on a platform because the majority are kids, fine. SOL yourself if you want to. Who am I to tell you what to do? But the reality is that now it's about the top 20% are in that 35 to 45% market? Do I want to alienate and not cater to that market and put out content which it's automated anyway? What the heck do I care? And not do it because, I have a mentality that I'm selling only to 60 and 70-year-olds that own houses. Um, Millennials are starting to buy houses. They're starting to have kids. Millennials who are single are um, starting to have pets, and they don't want pesticides on their floor because they have pets. So stop thinking like your grandpa, and start thinking like these people who, by the way, are in college. I got a lady the other day says, I have my daughter living here with her kids, and she wants the pesticide in the home, can't buy pest control. That's what I'm calling you, because she won't have it. Because kids are living at home with their parents now because they can't go make it out on their own yet. At 28, they can't buy a house. They're living with their parents, and they're telling their parents what they're going to do in their own house. So if you feel like alienating Instagram crowd and the TikTok crowd and whatever new platform comes on, I'm going to be plastered on every platform that there is. I could care less about the demographics because that demographics will age. And do I want to be in it at the first sign of it and be the first one on it and have the most traffic when I'm trying to sell content? Yes, I want to be there. So, um, you know, watch these things being kicked. Watching kids getting kicked in the nuts. Oh, that's funny as hell. Uh, yeah, bro. I mean, I have to talk to you guys. Understand, bro. I have no one to talk to about bugs at home. Ermi doesn't want to hear it. I can't mention the two R words in my house. I'm not allowed to mention roaches or rats because she has a phobia with roaches. We're outside and anything flies, everything that flies to her is a roach. I tell her, no, that's a moth. No, that's a beetle. Oh, Bologna, you're just telling me that. So I wouldn't freak out because, I hate them. So, I have no one to talk to about bugs. And my techs don't want to hear it. I mean, they live it all day. Again, yeah, I did. My squirrel butt muted the damn microphone. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. I've been down here for an hour and a half. Unless you got any real questions for me. I mean, you guys are the entertainment here. I mean, you guys are making this fun as heck with all your comments. Um, but yeah, I mean, anything you need, I'm here. You can reach out to me on Messenger. Everybody's dropping off like flies now. Um, Everybody's got to make dinner. At 6 o'clock, you got to be with your kids. I know you don't want to sit here and watch a 53-year-old male talk about cigars and bugs when your kid is going, Dad, what's for dinner? We want to go out. And wife is like, hey, you've been out all day talking about bugs, and now you're watching a video about bugs. There's something seriously wrong with you. So, hi guys, nice talking to you. This is Frank, the Pest Geek, wishing you a spectacular evening. Long ashes to you.